Hey, good morning. We're ready to get started here, and thank you guys so much for taking some time out. We want to give you an update on the COVID-19 situation and appreciate all the media over these past several days and months, allowing this to be a vehicle where we can communicate and give you updates. It really works better for us to do it this way. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to our president and CEO, Mr. Steve Smith. And we're going to do a dialogue of many of the questions that you guys have asked and submitted. And thank you for those questions. A lot of great questions. And Steve, we're going to start just with the first question coming in is a lot of questions around supply chain. And just can you give us an update on the supply chain?
Well, Kevin, I think it's the number one question I get when I'm walking the stores and talking to my customers is, how are we doing on supply chain? And the answer is fairly simple, but yet complicated. The simple answer is we're doing better. But the long-term answer is we're not doing nearly as good as we'd like to be able to do for our customers. And I know that our customers are not, satisfied that some of their products are missing. So let me give you some statistics. Typically, we like to service our stores through our distribution center at about a 97% fill rate. That means out of every 100 items that we get ordered in, we can get 97 of them to our stores. And the reason we pick that number is because we get trucks every day or every other day, and generally those items are coming and going, so we're not going to go too long without those items. Unfortunately, during the COVID crisis, we dropped down as low as 75% fill rate. We're back up to 85%, which is still a far cry from the 97%. Included in those items are a lot of the disinfectants, some of the paper items, although we've made a lot of progress on the paper items, some soup items, some canned items, some of the same items. Now, one thing that will help when the summer pack of canned vegetables and canned fruit comes in, that whole category will really get back in business. So some of it is timing because they pack basically vegetables and fruit once a year when the season pack comes in from North America. When those start coming in, we'll start to see that improve some. But if you want to get back to 97, I'm not sure we're going to get back there probably to the first of the year at the best.
Can you elaborate a little bit on some of the measures that are being taken to alleviate some of these shortages?
Gosh, we've searched high and low for particular items. For example, we sourced some South American fruit because if you think about it, South America packs their fruit 6 months away from when we pack our fruit. So we were able to bring some South American fruit in. It eats quality. I think it was measured maybe in different measurements than our English system, but again, we've gone high and low. During the meat shortage, we sourced some product that was bound for cruise ships. That the cruise ship got canceled, and we brought some of those things in. So our buyers have worked really hard. I think one of my favorite stories is finding a hand sanitizer producer in Cleveland, Tennessee, one of our markets where we've got stores, and we've been in hand sanitizer ever since then. We found that producer. So those are just, neat stories that you find good local companies that can produce things.
And a fairly recent development regarding certain aluminum items like 12-ounce cans. Can you address that?
Yeah, I sure can. There has been an aluminum shortage in the country and really, I guess in the world, because I know some aluminum cans are brought in from, South America and different countries. But we've noticed it in two real main categories. Our beer category, and for example, Coors Light and Coors products are produced in a more slender can. That's been a real issue. The normal, I'll call it little fatter cans, normal Budweiser can, Miller can, Coke can, those have seemed to be in a little better supply, but they're still short. And for example, some soft drink companies have stopped manufacturing certain flavors that weren't some of their best sellers in some of those cans. So we're seeing some of those outages. We hope as demand diminishes a little bit as summer wanes that we'll get back in business on those and be able to supply our customers with what they want.
You mentioned in your comment about the meat shortage several weeks ago. One of the questions we had here from the media was just asking about how things are going with that meat shortage and how it's affecting retailers.
Well, I'm proud to say that beef, pork, and poultry, we're in great shape on right now. If we remember back, one of the reasons that we were short on these products is some of the plants shut down to really do some social distancing measures. They did have some COVID outbreaks in some of those plants. They had to shut them down to sanitize them. That's pretty much back in production now. We are having some lunch meat problems, what we call packaged meat, processed meat. And that's a byproduct lingering over from the meat shortage where they couldn't get the cuts of the meat to make the lunch meat, which takes a little longer to cure and be processed. So hopefully in the not too distant future, that'll get back to a little more normalcy as well.
Steve, thank you. We're going to shift topics here. Great questions on the supply chain from our media partners. This one shifts to our associates. And back when the pandemic started, 2,500 new associates to help clean, sanitize, better serve our customers during peak demand. Can you talk a little bit about the current hiring situation and what types of positions are available at Food City?
Well, Kevin, I got to first stop and say those 2,500 people were critical for our company really to be able to be where we are today and to get where we needed to be, several months ago. Without their help and our loyal associates, we would have not done very well. But we were able to bring a lot of great people onto our company, get them part of the Food City family. And that happened in March. Now, obviously, school was out. We could utilize our young people a little bit more, and that really helped us through as well. Now, here we are, the end of July. School's getting ready to start back. So we start to have a little bit of turnover when you get into this time of year. So in fact, we are looking to hire some people now, both part-time and full-time. I know several stores have openings for meat cutters and folks to work in the seafood and meat department back there, because that's one of those departments that's really spiked in sales with people eating at home and the quality of products we've been able to have. We're also looking for front end help, food service help in our bakery delis. And also another area that we're looking for is in our distribution center. We're looking for full-time people that want to work in our distribution center. We work that distribution center around the clock, so we've got different shifts that people can apply for. If they go to foodcity.com, they can see some of the positions that are open, and they'll stop in one of their stores and talk to a store manager. They can kind of get the right directions.
So thank you, Steve. Another question, several questions around this about the current coin shortage and what Food City is doing to help alleviate that situation. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I sure can. I mean, that's one that came out of left field, I think, for most retailers. We've seen a lot of left field things that have come out during this COVID crisis. But what happened is evidently months ago, the mints closed down to protect the workers in there. And when the mints weren't producing coins, there weren't any coins going into circulation. So I know a lot of people kind of hoard their coins. They put them in jars or cans and bring them to get them cashed in periodically. Well, there was a shortage on it, and there still is a shortage. We're getting probably, when we order from the banks, 20 or 25% of the change orders that we request. Now, we've been luckier than some of our competitors who have basically stopped giving change back and asking people to round up. We haven't had to do that yet because we're recycling a lot of our change, and we do that through our cash cows. Those are money recyclers that we've got in the majority of our stores where people can bring their change in, and for a small fee, we'll take all that change and we'll give them a coupon that they can get, dollars and they cash that in. So we've been able to be in the change business. We've had to change some of our processes and procedures to do it, but every time you get thrown a curveball, you got to adjust and try and hit it. And our folks at store level have done a great job with that.
So thank you, Steve. Several of our media partners have asked about the increasing number of state and local mandatory mask orders that are being implemented throughout our market area. Can you talk a little bit about Food City's company policies with regards to face mask or face coverings?
Yeah, sure can, Kevin. You know, we operate presently in 4 states, Tennessee, Virginia, Kentucky, and Georgia. And obviously, 2 of those states have statewide mask mandates right now. That's Virginia and Kentucky. And in Virginia, we've been under one for, a great number of weeks. And Tennessee recently has given the county mayors the ability to go county by county and enforce those. And I'm proud to say we're seeing a lot of county mayors put mask mandates in. And that's a good thing because we have seen a spike in COVID cases throughout our market. And it's a little scary when you look at some statistics from, Ballot of Health from, the end of June to the middle of July. Their ICU beds went up tenfold that are occupied by COVID patients. And that's pretty scary. It's not a crisis mode yet, but we don't want to get there. So that's one reason that our company, along with other grocers, other discount stores, and other drugstores have really not come together. We've done it independently, but we've decided to have a mask mandate in our stores, in our Food City stores, and our Super Dollar stores. That mandate and requirement will take effect July 23rd, which is next Thursday. And people will be required to put a face covering on when they come into our store. And the reason is because we know that face coverings are the most successful thing that we can do to get this virus slowed down. And our folks, for example, our Food City associates have been in face coverings since May 1, when the CDC basically said, this is what we can do to be smart and slow this virus down. We mandated it, and our customers applauded us because it helped them feel safer. And I will say that it's tough, to work an 8 or 10 hour shift in our stores and have a face covering, but our Food City associates have done a great job, bearing with it. I'm proud of them, and I know they've helped save lives by doing that. So we're asking our customers now, during their 30 minutes, 45 minutes, or hour shopping experience, to put your face coverings on, help protect yourself, help protect our associates, help protect your neighbors, and help protect the economy. Because we don't want to have another economic shutdown like we had a few months ago. And we think it's a small sacrifice that folks can make to be able to keep going forward and fighting this darn virus.
The end result too of wearing a face covering has some other benefits. Would you like to maybe elaborate a little bit on?
Well, I mean, Kevin, I think we all realize that we need to get our kids back in school, get an education. Gosh, we want to see high school football, college football. That may sound trivial to some, but it's an important part of our culture in the United States. And we want things to get back to normal. Well, they don't get back to normal if we don't start one step at a time. That's a good step to take.
You mentioned in your comments about effective July 23rd.
Yeah.
Why wait till July 23rd to have a mask mandate?
It's a fair question. Number one, we want to make sure that we've got our safety managers that are going to be in the front of our stores properly trained, properly educated on some exemptions that may exist out there for people with medical conditions, et cetera. We want to make sure that they have the right message to be able to give to our customers when they come into our stores. We'll do that with signage. We'll do that with a hand sanitizing station where they'll be located, and they'll encourage our customers and, to be honest, require customers to put their mask on. We will have some masks that we can hand out if people don't have them. I know most people have a mask like I do that they like, that's comfortable, and it seems to fit their face good, but we'll have some disposable masks that we'll hand out to our folks. But the other thing is we had to get the signs printed. We just had to get ready to do this and do it the right way, and we'll kick it in next week.
Steve, I think I'm right on this. Day 128.
Yeah.
day 128 of the COVID pandemic. And I've heard you say it many times in these conferences and in meetings. The safety of our valued customers, our dedicated team of associates is our top priority. Can you talk a little bit about other safety measures that are currently in effect?
Josh, Kevin, probably the most important thing is the way we clean our stores and sanitize our stores, not just, daily, but every hour on the hour, and wiping high touch areas down, making sure our folks are wearing their face mask properly, the shields that we put up, plexiglass shields we put up in front of our cashiers and our pharmacies and where people interact and do the right things. Social distancing messages in our stores. We'll use our intercom to do that as well. Again, we want all our folks. We want our associates to be safe, our customers to be safe, our vendors that work our stores to be safe, and we want to get back to normal as much as anybody does. It's an inconvenience for everybody, but if we'll all work together, 6 feet apart, we can get through this.
Steve, a couple other questions around, safety measures. What about alternate methods of shopping?
Yeah, there are. You can certainly go online, you can do curbside pickup, you can do home delivery. We've seen that business go up, 500, 600, 700% during this situation. We've really got some great personal shoppers. I hear from my customers a lot that they love their personal shopper. They say they can shop better than I can. And, part of that sometimes is true because they've got access maybe to the butcher back in the meat department or the baker in the bakery department that sometimes a normal customer doesn't see. But we encourage them to do that. And again, if somebody has a passion that they don't want to wear a face covering, let somebody else shop for them or let them do their online shopping and pick it up at the curb and keep people safe.
Steve, any final comments for our customers, for our associates that you'd like to leave?
I'll just tell our customers that they can rest assured that we're going to work as hard as we can to serve them, to source the product that they want and they expect us to have, to keep our prices as low as we possibly can during this, and to make sure that our team of dedicated associates are there to serve them. And if they're healthy, they'll be there. If they're not healthy, then we'll all be short and our stores won't be as nearly as functional as well as they do today. So if we'll work together, again, as I've said so many times, we're in this together, we'll get through it together.
All right, thank you, Steve. Thank you to our media partners again. You gave us some great questions. Hope we were able to answer all of those for you and give you an update. We hope you have a great day and appreciate all you do. Thanks.